On this week's show, Liberty football survives on the road by the slimmest of margins, and a former Flame shares his story of redemption.
Plus, Liberty basketball with an impressive start to the season, and we look back at one of the greatest comebacks in Liberty history. You're watching Flame Central. A late miracle on the gridiron and a bounce-back victory on the hardwood. What's going on, and welcome to Flame Central. I'm Emily, he's Matt. And Matt, you know, the common theme on our show is there's always a lot of winning.
Yeah, and we also know it doesn't matter how you get the W, as long as you get the W. We've got a great show ahead for you, including an inspirational comeback story about a former Flame.
But first, Liberty football stepped out of conference play for a matchup at UMass. Some believe this would be a good confidence booster for the Flames before their last two tough tests in CUSA play. But Matt, with this Liberty team, no game is a gimme. UMass started the game on the ground, and this first drive ended on the ground. Jalen John runs it in from 9 yards out. The Minutemen led 20-7 at the break. But let's fast forward to the final frame, a.k.a. the Flames quarter. LU trailing by 6. All you need to know, Matt, is Quentin Cooley is his name. Scoring touchdowns is his game. That will give the Flames their first lead of the day, 21-20. These two teams took ground game to a whole nother level. Every single TD in this game was a rushing touchdown. No different with less than 4 to play. Kane Salter ties it at 28 all. So the Minutemen have a chance to win it with this field goal, but it's wide right. We're going to overtime. Free football in Amherst. John scores easily and quickly for UMass in OT, but the kicking nightmare, oh no, it continues off the upright. Are you kidding me? So Matt, when the game's on the line and the Flames need a score, who are you going to call?
Quentin Cooley?
Yeah, his third score of the game. The tie is good. The Flames escape with the OT victory. Cooley, how'd you guys pull it off?
Just being able to be a team, just sticking with each other, to be honest. We know we played a sloppy game at the end of the day. We just want to know, like, we got to fight for each other. We got to learn how to execute way better throughout the stuff. But executing at the end, it was really what made us push through and get it through.
Try to find a way to win is the most important thing we did. I mean, that kick that Colin made, I mean, that's not easy. And this extra point, Ryan Manis, our snapper, Max Morgan, our holder, you know, it's an extra point. We do it all the time. But when you know if you make it, you're going to win the game, and the other guy just doinks it off the upright. There's a little pressure, and those guys, the operation was great, our protection was great, so I was pleased for us to finish the game.
Well, we stay on the gridiron for our next story. In life, not everyone gets a second chance. Not everyone gets a shot at redemption. But here at Liberty, there is a focus on forgiveness and helping people move beyond their mistakes whenever possible. Former Flames football player Asa Chapman has experienced this, and his story has turned out far differently than he ever could have imagined.
The first time I can say that I fell in love with football was when I was at a very young age. Initially, what attracted me to football was just the sport and the roughness of it.
6'5", 380 every bit.
Asa Chapman would face many challenges growing up in Linden, New Jersey.
It was a rough neighborhood. We struggled as a family when I was young. There were a lot of, drugs and those types of things around when I was a kid. So my early life was really a lot of turmoil. I did live with my biological mother. She was a young lady herself, and she did struggle with drugs and just overall life in general. So a lot of times I had to grow up fast and be an adult when I was young before my time.
And yet, despite the challenges he faced, he would excel on the football field. So much so that he received a scholarship to Liberty University. And as a Flame, he continued to find success on the gridiron.
I was all conference for 3 out of the 4 years of my career.
But that would all be derailed prior to his senior season in 2011.
Yeah, it's really hard to kind of follow everybody right now. There you see that.
I had a knee injury that sidelined me for a couple months. Right before camp, I re-injured the same injury, which was pretty devastating for my senior season.
Frustrated and looking for answers, Asa would turn to what he knew from his childhood.
As I became an adult myself, I really didn't have much guidance. And I would say I was reaching a point of fame to where I was dealing with a lot of things that were unfamiliar to me. I really didn't understand how to cope well. I was using those drugs to cope with difficulties that I was having adjusting to my life. And during that time, it was really difficult for me.
And it was about to get more difficult. Following fall camp his senior season, Asa would be pulled over and police would find drugs in the car. He would be arrested and suspended indefinitely from the football team. His life seemed to be falling apart, but there were those at Liberty who refused to give up on him.
During that time, when I was arrested, God saw fit to surround me with people such as Christy Bites that cared about me, because I was my own worst enemy at that point.
We are all not cut from the same bolt of cloth. We all have different experiences, and my experiences and Asa's experiences growing up were not the same. And yet, I felt very called to come beside him and to continue to walk with him during that chapter or season in his life. And that's just what it was. It was a season. That was not his defining moment, and we were not going to allow that to be his defining moment. And that kept being the message that we were sending to him. This is not your defining moment. Your life is ahead of you. We're looking forward, not backwards. So we're going to do, and we're going to come alongside you and encourage you to do all of the things that the university requires, that society requires, in order for you to redeem yourself and to move forward with your life.
Everybody here at Liberty University just kind of insulated me and gave me the ability to rebuild myself, as well as, refocus on what was important to me. I was dealing with a lot of mental issues. Liberty not only provided, but gave me resources to where I was able to receive therapy.
It was a chance for us to demonstrate who we are as a university. We're about redemption. We use athletics as a tool to share Jesus. And then the other thing is restoration. So for me, as the chaplain, obviously I was disappointed because he was projected to play in the NFL. That's how good Asa was. But for me as the chaplain, my responsibility was to love him, encourage him, believe in him, help him. Just like as a football player, you make a mistake, you don't kick him off the football team. You help him learn from his mistakes on the football field. Well, the same thing is true in life.
It really wowed me because, it was amazing to see a bunch of people that don't really have a personal investment in me show so much interest in my well-being. So it really changed how I looked at the world. It also changed how I viewed my relationship with God, I would say, and Jesus Christ. At the time, I really wasn't very religious. I looked at life as just football. Everything was about football, which kind of led to me slacking in other areas. But just seeing how people surrounded me and protected me, as well as helped me and picked me up, really was a symbol of God's grace.
After his time at Liberty, Asa would enter the corporate world. But in 2023, an opportunity arose to return to his alma mater.
We had some positions come open in academic affairs for athletics, and Asa has just grown so much personally, but also professionally, and has achieved so much. I'm thinking maybe we can get him to come back. And so I sat down and had a talk with him and said, I really think this could be that pivotal moment in your life where you can come in and you can be an agent of change. And he came back and he was able to join our staff, and the impact and the connections that he's making with all of our students is really unbelievable. And I think it's a true testament of what we're called to do as Christians.
When she called me with that opportunity, it was almost like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. If I could just help one athlete avoid some of the turmoil and the trouble that I had, I feel like my life would be complete. That's what my purpose is. My life is where it is right now because I received a second chance. Second chances are really important because as humans, none of us are perfect, you know, and it's really important to sometimes show a little grace to someone because God always shows us grace.
Where would I be if someone hadn't given me a second chance? So for us, it was exciting to see the way the university responded because this was a young man who made a bad choice, but we were going to help him to learn from it so that now he can become a successful father, a successful husband. We have an opportunity to demonstrate to him that we not only believe that God is going to use what he's been through to help him, but we're going to be a part of that transformation process. And all I can say is, to God be the glory because of what God has done in his life and what God is doing through him now. And I always say that we all have a story. And the key is to let God take our story, let God make it his story, so that we can help somebody else with their story.
Thanks to Helmut Montoya for producing that feature. All right, we turn our attention now to hoops. The Liberty men were playing in the Field of 68 event. First, they faced FAU, losing a heartbreaker in overtime. Then the very next day, they would face undefeated Charleston. A tough spot to be sure, but did the Flames ever respond? LU trailed for much of the first half in this one, but then started to make their move. Colin Porter got an open look from the top of the key. He would knock it down. That cut the deficit to just 2 points. And then a Zach Cleveland dunk would tie it up before the break. Now in the second half, Cleveland would stay hot. He would score the first 7 points after halftime, helping Liberty go on a 23-4 run. Cleveland finished with 20 points on the ball game. The other star in this one would be newcomer Isaiah Enon. The big German finished with a season-high 13 points, 7 boards. He also knocked down 3 triples. Meanwhile, Liberty's defense held the Cougars to their lowest scoring output since 2016 as the Flames pick up an impressive 68-47 win, improving to 4-1 on the young season.
To the cross-country course, Adelyn Fairley punched her ticket to nationals with an 8th-place finish at the Southeast Regional Championships. The redshirt senior ran the 6K race in 20 minutes, 40 seconds. That blazing pace helped the team land 5th overall, matching its best-ever regional finish. The championship race is set for Saturday morning in Madison, Wisconsin. Best of luck to Adelyn. All right, we step aside, but when we come back, Liberty football coach Jamey Chadwell shares with us about his faith journey and how it's made him the coach he is today.
Plus, Rhett McGibbon joins us for Warm, Hot, and Fuego. That's all when Flame Central returns.
Does education mean a room with 4 walls, a desk, and a PowerPoint lecture?
Or is it something bigger?
What if it's the people beside you, 1 chair away or 1 ocean away?
What if it's the chance to learn from your mistakes, as well as your victories, and the push to keep going either way? What if it's the freedom to reach for bigger things without missing the little ones in between?
For each of us, education looks a bit different.
Because we're each a bit different.
But at Liberty, we think education might just mean something big enough for all of us.
That's Liberty to us.
What will Liberty be to you?
At Liberty, we train champions for Christ. But what does that really mean? Does it mean having 180 conference titles, over 700 programs, and state-of-the-art facilities? No. Being a champion for Christ isn't just about being great. It's why we're great. We push harder, go farther, study longer, because we believe in one simple calling: to change the world and share the love of Jesus. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
Challenges, they're nothing new. At Liberty, we know they make you stronger, force you to learn, adapt, to overcome. When your next challenge comes, be ready. Meet it with a degree that propels you forward. We've helped champions like you succeed for 35 years and counting. And now, over 100,000 students are getting stronger every day. At Liberty University, challenges make champions. Let's overcome together.
Welcome back to Flame Central. In order for head coach Jamey Chadwell to use his platform and guide the young men of this football program, he first would have to build a foundation in Christ. In our next Follow the Leader segment, we'll hear why football took a backseat to faith in Coach Chadwell's testimony.
I'm not only a believer, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. And when you have an opportunity to impact people at the most prestigious institution of higher learning from a Christian background as Liberty University, you don't pass that up. I believe God's ordained this opportunity for me, and I'm blessed to be the football coach here.
I grew up in church, but it was all about rules, not relationship. When I was 14, I went to a centrifuge camp in Panama City, Florida, got saved there actually. And so that's when I started, understanding it was more about relationship. But I think in my sophomore year of college, starting quarterback.
This is Chadwell, the quarterback. Back looking to throw. There's still less than 50 seconds to go. The angle corner, Adelyn. No, got it right in the end zone.
I had an injury 2 weeks before the season, and it wrecked my world. Everybody's about faith and football. I was football, and what I learned during that time frame, I was trying to stand on a football. And when you stand on anything but the rock of Jesus, it's going to be like sand, and when the winds and trials come, it's going to collapse, and that's what happened. And that's really when I made the choice that, hey, I'm not just going to be halfway in. I've got to be all the way in. We're so outwardly as far as seeing things, but Jesus says he looks for the heart like David, right? And so don't forget your purpose. Yes, you're paid to win games, do all those things, but really the purpose is to use the sport of football at Liberty to train champions for Christ and reach guys that maybe they think football is their God, like I did, and let them know that that's awesome to have a passion about the sport of football, but Jesus is the whole reason you get the opportunity to do that. And to be at a place that not only that you can feed others, but you get fed as well. We don't take that for granted.
I'm very privileged to be here and to be the head coach. It's something that I dreamed about a long time, actually, and God opened this door, and my family and I jumped right in.
Thanks to our Josh Quigg for producing that piece and creating that segment. Yeah. What a blessing it is having him here on the mountain. All right, Rhett McGibbon with us now for Warm, Hot, and Fuego. Top player moment from the past week in Liberty Athletics. Any theme, Rhett?
Yeah, I don't really understand this. I'm going to kind of dive into the theme a little bit.
Sort it out.
National Stuffing Day is like now. You'd think it'd be like Thanksgiving week or day even, right? But yeah, no, it's right now.
Listen, I have long said stuffing should not be limited to Thanksgiving. I think it's a side that should be enjoyed all year long.
I totally agree. And the other thing I want to get into right now, as I feel like I have stuffing in my mouth, is that, whoever's out there making Thanksgiving meals, don't overcomplicate
Don't
this
overthink it.
You don't
Stovetop's
need
already
to.
figured it out.
Exactly.
They've done the science. Just use it.
Exactly.
Thank you, Rhett.
Yes, thank you. People put celery in stuffing. I don't understand
Let this be a PSA to all Americans going into Thanksgiving week.
Warm. Stuffing the nets lately. Avery Mills, this young lady, freshman on the team, heard it on good authority when she signed with the Flames, like, Flames got a special one coming in. They travel out, play Tennessee. She has a breakout party. 21 minutes, 19 points.
How about it?
You're asking for some more minutes on the floor, I think, in that situation. 7 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3, and it's just been that shooting guard that I'm not necessarily saying the Flames need, but boy, if you can have a true freshman that's putting in points in the teens on any given night, especially against Tennessee, right?
And off the bench.
Exactly. You're going to have a lot of success coming down the road. You've got your Smuda who's pouring in the net. You've got Emma Hess, but then if you can have that third option, whether it's Hodges or Mills, you're going to have a lot of success. I'm really high on the Lady Flames this season. They're going to do great.
You have good reason to be. All right, from warm, we go to hot.
All right, Zach Cleveland, stuffing people. This last game against Charleston, this guy had 4 blocks. Call him the utility knife, really. You look at the stat line, 20 points, 4 blocks, 3 assists, 5 rebounds.
He does it all.
Like, he really does. This is just a guy, Coach McKay, you love to have him the focus of your lineup because he can be so versatile. If he's not going to score 20 points for you, you can see him have 10 rebounds plus like 9 assists. We've seen that. So he's so dangerous in multiple ways. Been a lot of fun to watch, and the Flames there, what a comeback game that they had against Charleston. And just this group is getting stronger and stronger game by game. Really should have had that FAU game as well. So this is another fun team to watch. I give a lot of credit to the coaching staff. Quick retool in the offseason, and they look better than they did a year ago.
They look really good right now. All right, finally, Rhett in Fuego. Who is it?
It's Quentin Cooley, and I think we just call him the stuff this season. This guy, MVP of the year in my mind for Liberty football. 20 carries, 149 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7.3 yards per carry. And it's crazy to think, but we're getting to that time of year where you really just have to appreciate the last couple of times you're going to get to see Quentin Cooley play. His time as a Liberty Flames coming to an end. It's been 2 quick years, but he has been so impactful, so fun to watch, and to watch him grow as an athlete and also as a man. It has just been tremendous. A great guy, and best of luck to him in the future. But hopefully we get another weapon there for him at some point.
That's right. One of the best running backs to ever put on a Flames uniform. All right, hey, next week, the Thanksgiving Wep. We're the only ones that look forward to it, but join us for that. All right, hey, thanks, Rhett. We relive one of the great comebacks in Liberty football history coming up next, and update you on the Fantasy League. That's when Flames Central returns.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do. And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books. And an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
Welcome back to the show. Everyone loves a good comeback story, and that's exactly what we have for you today.
Yeah, it's time for another Flames flashback and a reminder that you can never count out the Liberty Flames.
October 4th, 2003. Liberty football at home against VMI.
Jonathan Wilson going up top, going for the bomb, and he's got his man. That's Greg Carlson once again into the end zone. Touchdown, Keydets.
The Flames had dug a deep hole for themselves. Down 28-3 heading into the fourth quarter, the game's outcome seemed assured. Or was it? The fourth quarter would be drenched in drama.
3rd and 1 for the Flames. Hand off to Goodman. He is into the end zone over the left side. Touchdown, Liberty. And Eugene Goodman takes it in for the score. And the Flames are right back in this ball game. 3rd down. This time the handoff to Goodman. And Goodman is into the end zone. Flames touchdown.
Oh, we're having fun now.
And the fun was just beginning. Those 3 Eugene Goodman touchdown runs would cut the deficit to 5 with 5.5 minutes to play. It was then time for the defense to step up.
And the crowd is standing all around. Wilson fakes the handoff and he's sacked. Aaron DeBerry, the senior, sacks Jonathan Wilson, and the Flames defense makes a huge stand.
Then, with just over 2 minutes left in the game, the Flames offense was faced with a 4th and 7 from their own 42.
Condon steps up. He is going to throw, though. He's looking across the middle, and he's got his man. First down, Flames.
As the seconds quickly ticked away, the Flames needed to reach the end zone for an improbable 4th time in the 4th quarter.
2nd and 10 from the 24. Handoff to Eugene Goodman. Down to about the 11-yard line.
Face mask against VMI. That'll be half the distance still.
Inside the 10-yard line with less than a minute remaining, every second was precious.
Flames are lining up. We're 35 seconds counting down. They only have 1 timeout. They don't want to take it now. Back to Goodman.
Goodman is stopped at about the 2-yard line. Clock down to 26 seconds and counting.
This is going to be 3rd down, I believe. From the 2.
3rd and goal from the 2.
18, 17, 15.
Handoff to Goodman. Goodman is going to get into the end zone.
He's in. Touchdown.
Are you kidding me?
This may be, if it holds up, the greatest drive in Flames football history.
The score would hold up, and the Flames earned a thrilling 31-28 victory, scoring 4 touchdowns in the final 15 minutes to complete the improbable comeback.
What an incredible comeback. Speaking of incredible comebacks, that's what it's going to take for either of us to challenge Joe Yock in our Flames fantasy league.
A comeback? More like a miracle, Matt Warner. Joe is running away with the title, and now it's simply a battle for 2nd place between Matt and myself. Here's a look at the standings. Ouch.
Clayton Cooley, 3 touchdowns. We told you about that. Well, guess what? He's on Joe's team. So another 50-point week for Joe. Emily and I, pretty tight, going to come down to the wire. That's really what people care about.
Matt, look at that. Our 2 scores combined is still less than what Joe scored at UMass. Not fair.
Oh,
not fair.
Per game, right. You're right.
Yeah.
I thought your math was a little there for a second. All right, hey, about out of time. LibertyFlamesCentral.com for any stories that you might have missed.
Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. Some great content there. Speaking of great content, the 5th annual Liberty Football Pie Eating Contest is coming your way next week.
Can't wait for that. All right, for Emily, I'm Matt. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you right back here next time.